The poem starts with the description of the scenario the patriot was facing a year ago when the people were so enthusiastic in order to welcome him. They were so affectionate and loving towards him that they had mixed his path with roses and myrtles so that he could walk on them. They were so respectful, they were so affectionate towards the patriot. This shows the high position of the patriot in their hearts as well as in their society. The house roofs seemed to heave and sway. People had gathered in their house roofs, and there were so many people crowded in the house roofs that the house roofs seemed to shake with so many people in them. The church spires flamed, such flags they had. The church spires were decorated with various flags, and they were decorated to such an extent that they seemed to as if they were on flame, as if they were flaming brightly. A year ago on this very day. This line shows that some past happening is being talked of, means the patriot is recalling his condition a year ago when he was on the peak of his glory, unlike the situation today. Let's study about it further. Again, in this stanza, the patriot is describing his condition a year ago when the people again, he is describing the condition, he is describing the enthusiasm and the ecstatic people who were very warmly welcoming him, who were so good towards him that they could do anything for him. He describes the physical condition. The air broke into the mist with bells. So there were so many bells ringing. There were so many church bells ringing that even the mist was dissipating because of the ringing of those bells. The old walls rocked into the crowd and cries. So he says that the old walls were as if shaking with the crowd and cries. Means the church walls were seeming to as if they were shaking with the immense crowd and the cries of those people at the coming of the patriot. Had I said, good folk, mere noise repels. Now he says that had I said that, could you please bring the sun for me from the yonder skies? They had answered, and afterward what else? So he says that even if he asks the people, even if he asks the enthusiastic people at that point of time to bring the sun to him from the skies, the people would have readily agreed to even bring the sun for him. Right? This shows his condition a year ago when he had such a glorious past. The people were so affectionate, so welcoming towards him that they could even bring the sun for him at his command. This stanza is symbolic of the remorse of the patriot towards the real love he had felt from the people, whereas that love was fake, because the people are really fickle-minded. They praise the patriot at a point of time and today are completely neglecting him. He says that it was actually he who leaped at the sun, means it was actually him who did everything for the people, to give it my loving friends to keep. He was the one who had done everything for the people. He was the one who had tried to bring the sun for his people. No man could do, have I left undone. He said that no man could have done what I have done. I was the one who worked so hard for the people. And in all this over ambition, today what I am facing is the bitter reality of it. And you see my harvest, what I reap. I had worked so hard for the people, and today what I am facing is beyond the cruelties and the barbarity of this world. This very day, now a year is run. He says that the same year, today is the day a year ago when I had done so much for the people, and today is the reward I am getting for it. So we'll see to what is actually happening with him, due to which he is so sad and he is regretting too much that he had done for the people. This stands as a description of the current situation of the patriot, where today also he is going through the same route, but there is nobody on the housetops except for a few paralyzed patients sitting at the windows. For the best sight is all allow, for all the people are waiting today at the shambles gate, or yet better, or a better place at by the very scaffold's foot I drove. So he's saying that today most of the people are not waiting at their housetops. Instead, they are waiting at the scaffold where he's going to be hanged. This shows how within a year the fate of the patriot has drastically changed. Here, the patriot is narrating the present situation he is going through, where he's saying that he's going to his scaffold in rain, and to add more to the situation, a rope is cutting both his wrists. So you can compare the rise and fall of glory of the patriot. Once, where he was welcomed with roses, and now, when such disastrous things are happening to him. And I think by the feel my forehead bleeds. And he says that I feel that my forehead is bleeding because the people are flinging or hurling stones at him, for they fling whoever has a mind. Because the people are hurling stones at him, that is the reason my forehead is bleeding. Stones at me for my years' misdeeds, and they are throwing stones at me, and I'm being punished for my years' misdeeds. Those misdeeds have not been disclosed in the poem, have not been revealed, but still there is some reason due to which the patriot is drastically receiving so much of hate. Here, the poet is making a comment on his coming to the town where he was greeted with such happiness and honor, and now when he's going from the town with great insult and humiliation. He says that when people win and go away happily from the world, God does not consider them much. But people like him, who are not paid by the world, who go in such bad conditions from the world, are usually considered by God. Right? Thus I entered and thus I go. In triumphs people have dropped down dead, paid by the world what dost thou owe. Me, God might question now instead. This God shall repay. I am safer so. So he says that God would pay him finally in heaven, as because he's not been paid by the people for whom he had done so much. Therefore, he says that he feels safer in the hands of God, and now surrenders to his impending death, feeling optimistic that he would finally go to God and receive a proper reward for whatever good deeds he had done. And the people did not consider them much. Thank you.